Howdy folks, today we are reviewing these lovely green cherry tomatoes. Just kidding. We're reviewing, well actually we're unboxing a Panzera, I think Aquamarine something or other. I'll have a look in a sec. First impressions of what this watch is about. So here we have the beautiful watch case here. This is a cardboard cover, and I'm sure the watch box itself slides out. Let me pull this out and we'll open the box up and have a look. So we have this nice box here. It's kind of like a leather feel. I don't think it'll be real leather. Nice quality. Got some like little nice stitching around there. I know it just adds to the price because it adds to the production costs. Especially having to get your logo embossed in there and the stitching and everything. And let's open the box and have a look. So I've got the box kind of ready for the opening. I haven't seen this yet. This is really tricky with one hand. Quality case actually, and here is the watch. Ta-da! I bought this on eBay secondhand. It is not brand new from Panzera. This is not a paid review or unboxing of any nature. I paid with my own hard-earned, and when I say hard-earned money, I worked hard for that money. So far, this looks beautiful. Much nicer in real life than in the photographs, I will say. Now, the person said they've never worn it, and I will believe that, because if I look at the band here, there are no marks at all. Like, there's zero. And let's look at the underside. No, none at all. Beautiful feeling leather. I love this soft leather. This is almost, and I'm not saying this, I'm saying this as a compliment. I'm not saying this as a derogatory thing. One of the things I like about Timex watches, and some of them, there's two watches I have that have the same band, just different thickness, or different width, I should say. One of them is the Expedition chronograph, and the band on that is a beautiful soft brown leather that ages really nicely. The other Timex I have, which has the same band again, is the Mk1, and it's the aluminium bodied one. It's a beautiful little watch. This kind of has the same feel, and I'm putting that in high regard. Even though I'm comparing it to a Timex band, I feel that one area where Timex actually is good is their bands. So let's have a look at the rest of the watch. And obviously this is first impressions. I'll probably do another video in a few weeks' time after wearing the watch a few times. Initially, yes, it is a nice big watch. So this is probably not something I will wear on a motorcycle ride or anything like that. Let me get this other band off here as well. And before we have a look at the watch, we've obviously got the user manual and warranty here. This is lovely. In fact, that looks like really nice quality as well. And it's obviously got the instructions on how to set and use the watch. And you've got the Panzera logo in here too. Let's pick up the watch and have a nice close look at it. Now, you can see some bubbling on the dial. The person did say he or she has never worn this watch. Any little marks like that you can see, it's actually just the plastic cover. Looks like it's just going through a date change right now. One of the things I do want to do is pull the crown out, set the watch, and get a feel for the movement. Now, I'm familiar with these movements. I believe it's a Miyota 820A. Not sure if this is a hacking model. I believe this might be an older model watch, so we may not have that feature. But overall, it's a nice weight, that's for sure. It's definitely a heavy watch. It's not a light one. It is a very thick case. Compare that to my little SNK 809, which is a watch that's very small in comparison, doesn't really get in the way. In fact, let me put both watches down here on the bench and I'll show you the comparison of the two. Alright folks, so here are the two watches in comparison. You can see the significant size difference, and I'll show you a side view as well in a moment. What I did was I just set the time and I realized it is the hacking movement, which is great news. So we have hacking, we have manual hand winding, we have day and date, some beautiful dial face here. I'm going to say, look, for the price of these watches, I will be honest, when I first saw these advertised online, I kind of thought to myself, well, you know, Australian company, they're just really one step up from a modder, really. You know, you're buying a case, you're buying a face, you're buying hands, and sticking it into this case with a off-the-shelf Miyota movement that's nothing really special. It is a workhorse, I will give you that, and in my mind, a workhorse is special, but, you know, it's not some sort of like a, you know, Etta or Solida, or, you know, it's not a Swiss brand. Now, they do have a Swiss range of movement models on their website. So I left it in the hacked position here, just in a time setting position, so you can see that it is indeed hacking, and when I push the crown back in, it begins to tick. I haven't paid much attention to see if it has that famous Miyota second hand jumping, and so far it doesn't look like it does, but well, maybe a little bit there I can notice. Not a big deal. Some people think that might be due to low quality or anything like that, but the reality is it's just the way the movement works. When I saw photos of this, and I was looking on the website thinking about buying a brand new one until I saw this one come up secondhand at a very reasonable price. I'm not a massive fan of the triple date wheel here sticking out. I prefer, much like the Seiko here, the SNK 809, to just have the single date. Just a quick thing, I have modified this watch, even though it does not look like it, and I kind of like that it doesn't look like it, but this has the NH36 movement in there, so this is a hand-winding watch, and it also hacks as well. The old 7S26 movement in this died. I seem to have some really bad luck with Seiko 7S26 movements, because I've got 3 Seikos with those movements, and every single one of them dead. I've replaced the movement in all of those watches with a NH36. Initial look of the watch, it is beautiful. The band is nice. It is a big, thick, heavy watch. I'll show you the side profile compared to the SNK as well. The back is super chunky. They've obviously got the Panzera logo here. It looks like there's some sort of brushing or / textured coating. I think that's quite lovely. Aquamarine 45 is the model. Sapphire glass crystal, and to be honest, the price of these, not much different to, say, a Seiko of, let's say, I mean, obviously you can't compare the two because Seiko doesn't really make any watches that look like this. It is lovely. Stainless steel, sapphire glass, like I said, and it is water resistant, 20 atmospheres, you can see right there. So 200 meters water resistant. Now, that's pretty damn good. Compare that to the, I'm not really making a comparison video here, but compare that to the SNK with 30 meters water resistance. I oftentimes get nervous about washing my hands while wearing the watch, which is, in my mind, as a daily watch, this should be minimum 50 meters water resistance, because I don't want to get splashes on it and ruin the NH36 movement that I just replaced in this. So the next thing we're going to check is the height of the watch. Now, I've left the SNK there because I'm going to come down here and you'll see that is a significant height difference. In fact, let me see if I can get an even better view. Okay, so here's a better view here on my kitchen bench. You can see the Panzera is sitting behind the SNK, and it's essentially the height of the bezel. Here we go, that might offer a better view. You can see there's a major height difference. In fact, the case of the Panzera is almost as tall as the SNK, and then you got the bezel on top of that. So it is by no means a small watch, that's for sure. I'm going to wear this for a couple of weeks and see how it goes, see how it feels on the wrist. Alrighty, so I've got it sitting on my wrist right here. I will say it does feel nice and chunky, that's for sure. It is a heavy watch. One of the things I've noticed, it is brand new, the band is extremely stiff, so it's probably going to take a little bit of time for it to settle in. It's especially curving around that thinner part of your wrist on the sides. That side, it's super stiff, so I could probably go one more hole on the buckle here and get somewhere in the middle of the adjustment, but it might take a little bit of time for this leather strap to sort of bed in and become a little bit more softer and supple. It definitely feels soft and comfortable on the wrist, but I'm actually feeling a lot of pressure on the side here and on this side here. So maybe the rubber silicone straps that they offer for sale might be a bit more comfortable straight off the bat, but so far, pretty good. One of the concerns I always have with a big watch, especially with a giant crown like this as well, is it digging into your wrist, and you can see there's a little bit there, but I feel because of the height of the watch, it's not actually doing a lot of digging in compared to some other brands that I've used. So we'll see how this goes over the next few weeks, and I'll slowly make adjustments to the leather strap as it beds in. Now let's put it on the Timegrapher and see what it does. Alrighty, so I got the watch on the Timegrapher here, and I'm going to talk quite lightly because the Timegrapher actually picks up your voice sometimes. So let's have a look up here. Now this is brand new out of the box. I've just hand wound it maybe about 10 or 15 times. I've set the lift angle to 49 degrees, which you'll see pop up here in a moment. Yep, there it is, 49 degrees. We're getting a beat error of about 0.4 millisecond. The amplitude looks good, and plus 8 seconds a day, plus 8 or 9 seconds a day, and you can see it's kind of going between 8 and 10 there. It'll change based on the precision of the movement. Now this is with the face up, so you got it here. Now I'm going to turn it to the side. So this is crown up. All right, so I've added some plastic protection around the sides here, especially on this side of the Timegrapher, just so I don't scratch the case. So you can see now I've got it in the crown up position, which is not a position that you'll ever generally get the watch in. Now those bits here were when I swapped the watch over. So let's start watching it from here. We can see the beat error has come down quite significantly. The amplitude's roughly the same, and we got a plus 6 second, plus 4. You know, that's not bad. Pretty good, and now that it's settled, you can see it started to taper off, and our date will go to 0. There we have it, because you have a nice flat curve there. I am not going to open this watch up to regulate it. It doesn't need it. It's very well regulated, and the beat error is consistent and okay. I'm not too concerned with this. Let's put it in the upside down position, where it's a very common position, and let's see what it does then. So here we are in the upside down position. Let's have a look at what the Timegrapher tells us. The beat error has gotten a little bit closer together. You can see the 2 dots have started to get closer. So this may drop down to 0.2. There it goes just then. And we've had an increase up to from +2 to +15. Now we've got +13. The watch will settle down again. I'm expecting it to hit the +10. The thing is you know, when it's on your arm, it's always moving. So these are kind of more of the realistic results you'll expect. Finally, I'll have to reset. Have to change the watch and put it into a different position. Alrighty, so I've put the watch in the crown down position, as you can see right here. The crown is facing down, so when it's on your wrist and your arm is down by your side, that is more likely the position it will be in. And if I keep quiet, so these little dots here don't appear, this is when I was adjusting the position, so ignore that. You can actually see it's not too bad. We're getting a +10 seconds per day. That's acceptable. I'd like it less than that, but that's okay. It varies from 0 to +10. That's pretty good. Amplitude still healthy. Beat error is extremely healthy. And if I keep quiet, you'll see that it'll settle down, and it's starting to settle down now into a more reasonable and acceptable position here. And now that we see it settling down, it's gone from 10 seconds to 5, and we've got some Slight variations here. Again, that's more to do with the quality of the movement. No big deal. But our beat error is nice and healthy, and so is our rate and amplitude. So I'm pretty happy with the quality of how the watch is operating. I can see the amplitude starting to drop there. It could be the position it's in. It could also be that it is losing tension in the spring, because I only did wind it about 5-10 times. I'd probably give it a good 20 or 30. Oh, there it goes up again. So, you know, but that's no big deal. It's all right as long as it's sort of hovering around that same amount, not really moving around too much. And you can see, yeah, these little dots that appear. Normally, if you're testing this out and it's a worn out watch, these little dots that appear will tell you the health of the movement, whether there's dirt on even a little speck of hair or something silly on one of the teeth on one of the gears. And every time it comes around to that point in the train, the gear train, it will have a little blip, and you'll get a dot like that. But if I keep quiet, that will run smooth as. So really happy with the specifications of this watch. Fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing / initial look at the movement of the watch. I'm going to wear it for a few days and really try to bed that leather strap in, because I will say, as far as feeling fantastic and nice and soft, it is extremely hard. This strap is extremely hard to bend. So hopefully that means it's got some good wear and tear. I also just wanted to quickly point out the nice little Panzera laser engraving on the buckle here. That's great. The one thing I did notice while trying to put the watch on before, this buckle feels nice. The little I don't know what you call that, but the bit that goes in the holes, this feels a bit flimsy and a bit like sheet metal, and I feel like I'm going to bend it or break it. I probably won't. That's probably my first and only real issue with the strap, with the watch, is the strap. It's way too thick and hard to bend, and that little the buckle here, that feels a bit low quality. Two of the only letdowns, really. But apart from that, a fantastic watch. Let me bring this back up so you can have one more look at it. It is upside down, but that's the face again. I still haven't taken the plastic off. I will. It's not going to end up like a like my grandmother's couch, where it's still covered in plastic. Thanks everyone for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this initial video. Let me turn that racket off, because it's probably annoying everyone, including me. Anyway, thanks guys. Hope you had a good one, and see you on the next one.